And welcome to All Four Downs. I'm your host, Open Muniz, along with Hector V and our special guest, Sanders. Welcome, Sanders, man.
What's going on, guys? Thank you for
Hey,
having me.
he is on the Stir Up the Pot podcast that you can catch him on Clovercrest Media. I'm gonna just stumbled on that title, man. Can you say that
It's
again?
it's stir the pot.
Stir the pot. There you go. Stir the pot. And
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of stirring going on, especially in both college football and the NFL. But
Absolutely.
we're definitely going to speak in it real up in here because shout out to my boy Frank Cuesta, Speaking It Real podcast every Wednesday and Friday nights. But we're here in All Four Downs. We're going to start off with college football. We'll talk about the NFL picks and the possibility who's going to be making the playoffs, which the wild card starts next week. But first, hey, we're going to tune in to this Monday's national championship. Check it out. And there you have it. It's the national championship on January 10th in Indianapolis. You could catch it on ESPN. And furthermore, the Mountain West out of the Bowl Mania Challenge pretty much had the highest percentage, but the Big Ten had the most wins. They went 6-4. And I have to say congratulations, as much as it hurts me so dearly. But Hector wins this year's Bowl Mania Challenge with the All Four Downs podcast, going 24 wins, 13 loss. I fell one
Nice.
game short. Um, any final speech you want to make, Hector? I mean, by all means, go right ahead. I mean, it took you 2 years to beat me on this one.
Go ahead. Talk your stuff, Heck.
Look, I'm not going to really brag because I know how you are, okay? Last year we had to share the championship, so this year had to be a decisive winner. And so, I'm not going to gloat too much. I mean, I'm just surprised that I was able to get you on this on college football. I mean, because you're real good at it, and I leave that to you. But yeah, I mean, it was just, I guess, the luck of the draw in some of the cases, really going into it, doing the
I think this
homework.
was the hardest one because not only that we had to deal with figuring out who was playing with this COVID stuff,
Yeah.
but then players opting out and
Mhm.
Yeah.
not caring because they so-called want to focus on the NFL. You can see the NFL prospects this year, all the rookies, and
Yeah.
how much they prepare themselves for the NFL draft.
Mhm.
But when we want to talk about really one person, Mac Jones, that's it. You know what I mean? But you're right, man. And with these cancellations and everything else, I think we did all right trying to be on top of everything. But the one thing that counts for real is this right here. The Final Four happened with Alabama defeating Cincinnati. Georgia
Mhm.
handled Michigan, 2 blowout games, and that squashes the conversation about the non-power 5 conferences. We made fun of Notre Dame. We made fun of them every time they show up. They never show up, put it that way.
Do
Right.
they show up?
And then like you invite Cincinnati over, hey, you want to come and play? And then they want to play with you. They can't even score a touchdown. So enough with that conversation. and that 12-team playoff scenario they want to try in the future. I think the playoffs are just fine the way they are. But
yeah. Real quick, I
go
think
ahead.
the committee. To me personally, I think the committee got it right. I think their method of how they did it to me was kind of weird how they do it. Because you want to see the little guy in there and try to give it a
Mhm.
fight, and we've seen that, and yet the committee's pretty much telling us, look, you want the little guy in there, we put him in there, and look what happened. The same results are happening. So
Right.
I get it. You're going to shut me up? Shut me up now. I mean, because I want to give Cincinnati a shot here, and they didn't even show up to play. At least Michigan scored a touchdown. Cincinnati couldn't even do that right.
Might as well put Ohio State back in there at number 4, right?
Might as well. At
Or,
least they
or throw Oklahoma in there.
at least Ohio
right?
State tried last year, right?
They scored a touchdown, didn't they?
Yeah.
But hey, we have recap 34-11 Georgia over Michigan, and then we had 27-6 Alabama, and that leads us to our national champion. And I'm gonna gloat. I'm gonna tell you the way it is. Here it is. This is the history. Alabama owns Georgia 42-25. They're on a 7-game win streak.
Yeah, hit them stats because I know you like to hit them stats, Ovi.
Oh yeah, but look, man. Ever since 2008, things went downhill for Georgia. Okay, all these games were playing in Atlanta, Georgia, -1. That was at Toluca, Alabama, and Georgia just don't have the formula to beat Nick Saban. You had 3 SEC championships, and then that national championship that happened in 2018, where they grabbed Tua as a relief pitcher and ended up winning the game because it was Georgia for the win. It was Georgia for the win. But this time around, it's going to be in Indianapolis. It's a neutral site. We're staying away from Georgia, the state of Georgia, for this. Maybe, just maybe, this is for the Bulldogs for this coming. Hard to say because the way they lost an SEC championship, but I still got faith. I don't want to sound like Jace from John about the G-Men, but I'm a diehard fan of Georgia Bulldog. I'm gonna stick to my team. I represent them every time. I always brag about them. So let's go, Dogs. But what you got, Sanders, on this?
Real quick, Ovi, that's your heart telling you the Bulldogs, but your brain is obviously telling you the right answer, which is Alabama. Correct.
I like the underdog story, even though they're favorite in this game, which is still surprising to me that they're favorite at 3 points as of now, right? Because things could change by Monday, but I'm still surprised that they're still favorite, and I still consider Georgia as the underdog.
Yeah, well,
you would think that you're used to losing to Alabama. That's like the Yankees and the Red Sox in Major League Baseball. I got to suffer seeing the Red Sox lose all those years, right?
Yeah.
Or I seen the Giants this year.
This ain't 04. This isn't 2004 and the comeback of the series. This is.
But it can be. Ovi. It can be. It could be a good storyline.
We said that last time this season when they played earlier. Like, this can be the game that Georgia doesn't,
but they didn't show up
like Tyrone Woodley.
Yeah, hey, forget about it.
Listen, unfortunately, Georgia, they look great and they look like national champions against everybody else except when they play Alabama. And unfortunately, that's just how the cookie crumbles. That's just how it is, man. Because when you got
and you know what kills me even more? You want what kills me even more is that Alabama struggled mid-season, and 100%. Georgia was just taking care of business. If there was
any year to get Alabama, this was the year to get them.
Exactly.
And you messed up because
no. We messed up. We got a second chance to make it up.
Okay, cool. But when I look at Bennett, Bennett's numbers are nice. Over 2,500 passing yards in the season, 27 touchdowns to 7 interceptions. But then I look at Bryce Young, and the kid threw for 4,500. Ovi. He threw for 45 plus TDs, and the talent is there. I know Georgia matches well with recruiting. I know that this year they did a phenomenal job trying to match the talent. But it's like Georgia's best is Alabama's average, and that can only get you. It's like trying to go into the casino and trying to hit the jackpot, trying to beat Alabama. It's a luck of the draw. You're probably gonna get once every million, And right now, Alabama's playing, with a chip on the shoulder. I know somehow they went into last game with like this underdog mentality, but that's how you have to play when you have a team that is trying to make their way, trying to prove themselves, and everybody's looking at you like this might be the year you fall. Cincinnati was undefeated, and Alabama just waxed that ass. Just
Oh yeah,
straight
but
up
that's something
manhandled them.
different, man. I
So
I don't Cincinnati shouldn't be included in your
yeah, I
sentences
hear
here.
you. I hear you, but it could have gone so wrong for Alabama because all the momentum was riding on Cincinnati. Really, like that little school mentality. Basically, all of America was kind of rooting for Cincinnati because when you're great for so long, when you're loved for so long, eventually
Mhm.
you're gonna start being as hated as much as you are loved. And Alabama, I feel like they've hit that level where as much as people love them, you got as many people that hate them and want to see
Of
them lose.
course.
Just like when people pay to go see Mayweather fight, they pay to see him lose half the time too. So that's how it is with Bama. And Bama right now, they're riding high. They beat them in the regular season. They handled their business. And unfortunately, Ovi, I'm sorry, man, but Bama's gonna handle their business again. I think Nick Saban's gonna win another one. He's gonna solidify his place in NCAA coaching godness because he really is that type of level. He's the greatest head coach in college football history, and he's gonna prove it again this season. And he's gonna shut up the people that are just really they want him to fail because they're tired of greatness. Can you imagine someone being so great that you're just tired of them being great? That speaks volume. So I'm rooting for Alabama. I enjoy seeing greatness. Get it done. Shut everybody up, and on to next season.
Well, I'm glad. I'm glad you feel that way because this is it for Georgia. Because there's no more chances for Georgia, and I'm gonna tell you right now, next year Georgia will not be in this position. Uh, but if you take that playbook from Jimbo Fisher for the Texas A&M Aggies, I think the Georgia does have a shot. Hector, who do you pick in this one?
Sanders, when you say, we want to see greatness, I mean, okay, we see greatness in the NFL with Tom Brady, but yet we've seen his vulnerability. We've seen time and time again, he's defeated every team in the NFL. We've seen him win time and time again with the Super Bowls, but we've also seen that vulnerability, the New York Football Giants and at one time Philadelphia Eagles. So I think we're going to see that here. Nick Saban is a coaching god in the NFL, in the NCAA. I take nothing away from that. But Georgia has an opportunity that no other team has got, and that's a second chance at Alabama in the same season, okay, to take this national championship, okay? And with Stetson Bennett, I mean, he's made me a believer. Okay, I'm going to overlook that loss to Alabama because Alabama, to me, got lucky to be in that situation by beating Auburn. Auburn shot themselves in the foot, and Auburn knows it. They were the ones that could have knocked this whole, just put all this to rest, and we won't even be talking about Nick Saban and Alabama. But it is what it is. I get it. But with Stetson Bennett in his last two games against Alabama, he's averaging for over 300 yards. Okay, so that tells me that Alabama defense is not putting any kind of pressure on Stetson. So I see the same thing happening here. I think Georgia has the momentum. I think they're going to go into this and they're going to strike quick. And I think that's going to give that defense the momentum to start putting pressure on Bryce and get Alabama shut down. If they look at that tape, what Auburn did, they're not going to make the same mistakes that Auburn did. You shut them down for the first half, I guarantee you, whatever momentum Alabama tries to get is going to be a little too late. Georgia will win this game at least by a touchdown. I'm not taking it away from Alabama, but even greatness has to fall. And I think, like you said, Ovi, with Georgia's 100%. This is Georgia's last opportunity. They get it done. They get it done.
Well, real quick. My thing is though, if the talent matched Alabama, I would say yes because all you have is Bennett, and I know they have White and Bowers, but Bowers does not match up well. I feel like all those yards that he did get at the end was a lot of garbage time yards. Bowers against that secondary doesn't match up well. When you look at Bowers, you're looking at a little scrawny, I'm not trying to say anything because he's white, but a little scrawny white boy out there. I just don't see that Georgia has enough. It's just Bennett, and Bennett is not going to beat 55, especially with Saban with time to prepare and time to get that defense ready for him. I just don't think. I mean, if it'd be a really tall task for Bennett by himself to get it done against Alabama.
I
I
don't think
just don't
we're
think
going to
it's gonna
rely on
happen.
Bennett by himself. It has to be a team effort, and we've seen how there were a bunch of 3-and-outs on the SEC championship. We saw that their execution was not there. We know Bennett's not that tall enough to look at the whole entire field. How many passes did he try to throw and they got knocked down? You know, he's not maneuvering. It looked like he was heavy footed at the very beginning. You know, it took a while for Georgia to
Alabama's defense does that to you to confuse you.
right. But you know what? But then also on the other side, Georgia, they have the best defense in the college football right now, and they did not play that. They let the wide receivers run all over them. They were also flat-footed. So there was a mixture of everything, right? And maybe they was over their heads. And I don't expect Georgia to make the same mistake twice. I expect it's a good match. I do expect maybe a touchdown score.
Match.
But if Alabama gets ahead 2 touchdowns in the first half, then I have to worry and be like, you know what? Georgia's in trouble. Because you don't want to fall 2 touchdowns.
Let's take into consideration Alabama's secondary is a little banged up. They don't have Josh Joby. And Jalen Amore Davis, he left Cincinnati with a hip injury. So that could cost that a secondary. And if that secondary is weak going into this Georgia game, Bennett could exploit that.
It could be. Or JT Daniels could be. JT Daniels could be another Tua and come in relief and just shut them down. He is 6'5", baby. That's all I'm saying.
That could be
but
the
hey,
recipe.
By the end of Monday night, I should be celebrating with this right here. There we go. Let's go Dogs, baby. Let's go Dogs.
Clip this, please.
But hey, that's for college football. So we got 2 Georgias and 1 Alabama. I can't wait because, of course, got to put my boy on a highlight reel, baby. But speaking about highlight reels, and we got another highlight reel coming up. It is the NFL picks coming up. And man, I'm excited. It's already week 18. The first time in NFL history, we're reaching up to 17 games. So without a doubt, here it is, man. Check it out. It is NFL Week 18, sponsored by the CMG Sports Podcast Network. It's all 4 downs. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Facebook. Week 18, here it is. We're getting ready for the playoffs. Super Bowl. Yes. Woo. And looking at the standings right now, let's do a little bit of close-up right here. We have the Tennessee Titans and the Kansas City Chiefs trying to battle for the number 1 seed. We got the Cincinnati Bengals, which we found out that Burrows and Mixon will not be playing this weekend due to COVID protocols. We got Buffalo Bills. They're hanging in there tough, fighting for the division spot, right, with the New England Patriots. We're going to talk more about that. The Colts are 6th seed and the Chargers are 7th seed. But there are more teams involved. The Chiefs versus the Broncos. The Titans versus the Texans. The Colts are playing the most important part in this Sunday's game, right? Because if the Colts were to win, that eliminates the Steelers and the Ravens. But there are more scenarios into this. The Steelers and the Ravens play. Also, the Chargers and the Raiders play. So it's so much at stake. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on in the AFC.
If the Colts lose, both the Raiders and the Chargers make the playoffs, all they have to do is tie.
All they gotta do, it's not gonna end in a tie. I guarantee you that.
They would solidify their playoff spot. So literally, it could end in a tie, and they'll be in the play. They'll both be in the play-in. So there's literally no reason to win or lose the game.
Man, that's some crazy talk right there. Especially that is the last game, right? The Sunday night football. To see it end in the tie. Oh man, that's just
like literally if the Colts were to lose, the Chargers and the Raiders could kneel the entire game and end in a tie, and they'll both be in the playoffs.
And they're in Vegas, so whatever happens in Vegas,
that would be the funniest game of all time.
In the NFC, we have the Green Bay Packers already clinched the number 1 seed, but Aaron Rodgers says he's going to still play. The Rams, Buccaneers,
MVP right
Cowboys,
there, boy.
they're there. But however, the Rams and the Cardinals are still fighting for the NFC West division. So depending on the outcome, either one of them could take over that division. But we also have the 49ers are still alive, and the Saints are still alive to make it to the playoffs. The two most important games on that, the Saints visit the Falcons and the 49ers visit the Rams.
Whew. It's spicy in that kitchen, man.
Spicy indeed. Hey, here we go. It's all 4 down. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're about to get set and ready to go for our NFL picks. And so we're going to start with our first game, and that is the Chiefs at the Broncos. Hector, who you got in this game?
Last week we both had an outstanding week. It was awesome. We hit that week 17. No, that was awesome the way we finished that off strong. But this game right here,
what, 13-3?
We both went 13-3. Yes, 13-3. It was awesome. That was a good week and everything. I mean, it was just pretty to see that. But with this game right here, I got Kansas City winning this game. I'm not going to get too much into it. Look, Patrick Mahomes know that, they have an opportunity to try to win, still get the number 1 seed. They blew that against Cincinnati. That was just a letdown, a meltdown for them. But they know they got home field advantage still in the rear view, right in their front. So I've got Kansas City taking Denver down. Denver just chalk it up. Let's think what you could do next year. So let's go with the tomahawk chop, Kansas City.
All right, Sanders, you're up, man.
Well, yeah, man. I mean, I'm gonna go ahead and agree with my man Hector here. I think the Chiefs are they see what's ahead of them. They know that the Titans are literally 1 spot ahead of them. The Titans could lose and the Chiefs win, and they bump up to the 1 spot. So, I mean, it's up for grabs. The Chiefs know Broncos. I'm sorry, man. They had a kind of a disappointing season towards the end. They kind of started good and then fizzled out at the end. But hey, get ready for next season because that's really all they're looking forward to right now.
All they're looking for, and they might end up having a new head coach. I don't know.
New head coach,
we'll
GM,
we're definitely going to be talking about the coaching carousel after our
maybe
picks.
a new QB too while they're at it because some say they're a QB away. But the Chiefs, like I said, they don't need to really light them up too much. I think Denver's Broncos, they're still a respectable defense. They're not going to allow the Chiefs to try and, stomp all over them. But even if the Chiefs get to a good enough lead, I think they should try and maybe rest some of those starters, not risk them to injury. But I think the Chiefs, they'll do enough to get the dub.
All right. I got the Chiefs also. Moving on to the Cowboys at the Eagles Saturday night. Cowboys, they're in a hot seat right now. Micah Parsons will not be playing this Saturday. He's been listed as a COVID-19 protocol as well. They still say that he might end up being there. I don't know how, when the rules say that they have to be 5 days quarantine, they come back, but that's still within the 5 days. Do they really need them after they already clinched? I think I will rest them and get ready for the playoffs. I mean, they are number 4 seed. I mean, risking it doesn't make any sense. But then here's the Eagles. They also made the playoffs.
Yeah,
but
they clinched
so
too.
they went for a position to lock in at number 5, or excuse me, at number 6. So there's still a lot of scenarios there. But because of Micah Parsons not there and the way Dallas, I originally had Cowboys winning. I'm changing my pick. I'm sticking with the Eagles in this one.
You heard me, Obi. You really do. You really do. I mean, I could see why you picked Philly. Cowboys tend to end the season every year on a down streak. But I think Dallas is going to bounce back from that tough loss last week to the Cardinals. Dallas kind of they've done well this season against the division. I think they're still undefeated in the division, so I think that doesn't change. Philly has had a really good season coming from where they started with Sirianni. Basically everybody looking at them like, what the hell are you doing? They turned their season around, and quietly but surely they ended up with a playoff spot. And like I said, they clinched too. So it's not like they're fighting for a spot. They got their spot. So I know they'll be fighting for respect, but I think the Dallas Cowboys are just too much right now. They don't do good against the elite teams like the Chiefs, like the Bucks, like the Cardinals, but against average teams, the Cowboys look like world beaters. So I got the Cowboys winning comfortably enough to solidify their spot in the playoffs. And let's just say Philly does squeak out a win and advances in their positioning in the playoffs. That wouldn't be too bad on Dallas either, because I think right now, if the playoffs were to start next week, they play the Cardinals. If Philadelphia wins and the Cards lose, maybe the Philadelphia
No,
Eagles
Arizona
jump
Cardinals
in.
already clinched the number 5 seed. There's
Oh,
a
they
2-game
did?
gap
Oh, okay.
between them.
Okay.
But the Cowboys don't want to play the Cardinals, right? They probably want to win, but then they need help from other teams. So
I would much rather play the Eagles. At least get a win in the playoffs and then get bounced in the second round.
well, you can win now and lose next week. It's fine with me. I know you're a
I don't
Cowboys
care.
fan, man.
Hector. No Super Bowl this year, guys. No worries.
Look, I got the Eagles, okay, and here's why. Okay, I mean, Philadelphia has won the last 2 games in this series at home against the Cowboys, okay, and it's sad to say, but the Eagles have one of the best rushing offenses versus Dallas's rush defense because of Jalen Hurts. Okay, so I don't see how the Cowboys defense is going to be able to stop him if they get him to scramble and they get him to run the ball. Jalen Hurts is just going to probably run that ball on him. You know what I'm saying? If he can't pass it, Dallas made the maybe to defend against the pass, but they're not going to be able to stop the run. Dallas don't got a run game. I'm sorry, Zeke. We don't know what's wrong with him. Is he hurt? I don't know, but that's not going to be a factor. So now we just got to stop. All the Eagles got to do is just stop the passing game. So I got the Eagles squeaking out a win here. It's going to be a close one. To me, it's more for Philadelphia than Dallas in this situation, as far as a win, because of positioning. I think regardless, Dallas sees the toughness ahead of them as far as even trying to think about trying to get a number 2 seed. So you're probably locked at 4. At least Philadelphia has an opportunity to move a little bit, you see, and that makes a big difference on who you play come playoff time next week. So yeah, I got Philadelphia.
You say the run game, but I mean it's really just Hurst because Sanders is out, Bart Scott is out.
Yeah. And so
Howard is out. I mean, they don't really have any running back.
Hey, and that's okay because Dallas can't stop the run anyway. So Jalen Hurts is going to run all over them.
I like that. Well, let's move on real quick. Make your picks. Washington at Giants. I'm picking the Washington football team to win. No offense for the Giants. Questionable for the whole entire general manager all the way down if they're going to have their coaches there. But Washington. Hector, who you got?
I got Washington, man. My team is just a total dumpster fire.
All right, Sanders?
Jesus Christ, man. It's so miserable, you Giants fan, going against your own team. I'm going to go with the Giants just out of respect, okay? Because Joe Judge says, this ain't no clown show.
Oh, you're already clowning. You're already clowning.
Show, but it's not no clown show. I think y'all know what kind of show it is.
Yeah, it's a mercy rule show.
I see Ringling Brothers at this game.
You know what else I see? The Jets visiting the Bills. Jets, they're just playing just to play, man. I think they're going to be set for next season.
They almost beat the Bucks last week, man. Don't play them. Don't try to disrespect them.
Come on. It's the Bucks were dealing with a lot of stuff and a lot of things happened in that game that wasn't even involved football. Let me tell you. All right. But I think this is the Bills. The Bills should easily win this game. But when you say easily, most of the time, it's the very hardest thing to do. And if you already know me, Sanders, going on and a CMG podcast, when I be telling these guys, they ain't that easy. Nothing's ever easy. So, but I'm picking the Bills on this one. Hector?
Josh Allen is 4-2 as a starter against the Jets, so I got Buffalo winning this game. And anyway,
right,
Buffalo's still my pick for the AFC representation since the beginning of the season. I'm still sticking with that. So
okay.
I got Buffalo winning this game.
Okay, one problem I have for that.
The Super Bowl?
I picked them in the beginning of the season when we started this podcast to represent the AFC in the Super Bowl.
That is true.
Right.
I picked the Rams and the Raiders on this one, and look where it got me.
Well, hold on. We haven't got to that Raider game yet.
Yeah, the Raiders are not mathematically eliminated yet. So.
No. But who you got, Bills or Jets?
I mean, I got the Bills, man. The Bills are going to close it out. So, just these aren't games that you want to lose, especially at the end of the season. You want to go into the playoffs with all the momentum you can. So, Bills win. Jets, Another terrible season.
Yeah, they'll be all right. 49ers versus the Rams. This one is a lot to it. The Rams win. They
That
clinch
is
the
a lot to it.
NFC West. The 49ers win. They could push the Rams and allow the Cardinals to win the division, but the 49ers will be locked into the playoffs. I'm picking the Rams just because I picked the Rams to go to the Super Bowl in the beginning of the season. But the only thing I'm going to say this is an important game for Stafford for his mindset to go into the playoffs because he has not been performing that well for the last month. He got to stop turning over the ball. And if he could be consistent against the 49ers, they should be set for the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, now go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, and we don't know what 49er quarterback we're going to get. Are we going to get Trey Lance or we're going to get Jimmy Garoppolo?
No, I think Jimmy G starting.
See?
Jimmy G starting. For
So-
sure.
So Jimmy G practiced today, and he's still saying that his hand is still hurting when he's
Yeah.
throwing the ball. But he's still going to practice tomorrow. But Trey Lance is getting most of the repetitions.
Yeah, and I'm kind of scared because the 49ers are 5-3 on the road this year, and they did beat the Rams the first time around, but I am got the Rams on this one. I think it's a big time. This is a big game for the Rams. You know, they lock up their number 2 seed. So I think this could potentially put 49ers out of the playoff situation.
100%, man. Yeah, 100%. The Rams would not look good getting swept by anybody in the NFC West. You know, they managed to split with the Cardinals after taking that ugly L to them earlier in the season. They managed to, get that dub back. If they were to get swept by the 49ers, that's really bad on the mentality of Matthew Stafford, being as you were brought there to win a Super Bowl and make sure that the Rams win that division handedly. So I think the Rams are going to win this game. Too much if between Garoppolo and Trey Lance. Trey Lance did have a solid game last week, but I just don't think that he's ready or mentally ready to handle a game of this type of magnitude as it being a division type game. And the Rams have a lot at stake. So I got the Rams winning. I got Cooper Kupp going off because I'm playing against Joe in my fantasy championship, and I need that. I need those points.
Oh, man. Needing is one thing, man. You better hope he doesn't sit down. Patriots versus the Dolphins.
Well, he's trying to break the record. Remember, guys, he's trying to break the record too. So, I mean, I don't think he's going to sit down the game. He did speak about wanting to break the Megatron's record. So, that's 200 yards. So, I don't think he's going to sit down.
Okay. We'll see. We'll see. Good luck on that fantasy league, man. Good luck. Good luck. But the Patriots do visit the Dolphins. Nothing really breaking records on that one, except for Mac Jones maybe ended up finishing second in the Rookie of the Year category behind Chase from the Bengals. But Dolphins got really nothing to play for on this. But they could play spoiler if they want to. But I got the Patriots winning. Patriots always do well on the road. And this is a good tune-up game for Mac Jones.
No, you're right, because they win this game, which they will. They finish 7-1 on the road. This is a great opportunity for Mac Jones to finish up that season on the as a road warrior, get into the playoffs, and start from scratch. So I got the Patriots beating the Dolphins.
You sure it's not Legion of Doom?
Nah, just the road warriors.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna go completely opposite of both of you guys, man. The Patriots always struggle in Miami. I mean, I know they've had a few wins before in Miami, but if you look at the past 10 matchups in Miami, it's not so good for New England. It's something about that humidity, or maybe the players go out to clubbing the night before and don't tell Bill Belichick, and they don't show up for these games against Miami in Miami. I got Miami squeaking a win, and throwing a little wrench. They're gonna throw a little wrench into the plans of the AFC. So I got the Dolphins winning. Brian Flores ending the season on a high note, earning the respect. So I got Miami, guys.
All right. I mean, Frank Quest from Speaking of Real says last year Miami beat them.
Yeah, remember that?
I like
play?
I like the thing that Joe always says, who is the CMG owner, about last year was last year. This is this year, and
and unless it's the Cowboys,
I mean,
and then it's like, when was
anything
the last time
could
they won a Super Bowl?
Anything can happen, but you're absolutely right. I mean, somebody got to lose. It can't be a perfect scenario moving on to week 18. But the Seahawks at the Cardinals. Could the Seahawks pull an upset against the Cardinals? I don't know. But I'm not sold with the Seahawks. I'm not sold with the coaching staff in that area. I'm picking the Cardinals to win.
Hey, the Cardinals are just, they're back on track after beating the Cowboys last week. You know what I'm saying? And so I got the Cardinals winning this game. The Seahawks got lucky last week. They didn't play nobody last week, so they just exhausted all their energy putting 51 points up last week. So be lucky they scored 15 or 16. I got the Cardinals.
That's what usually happens, though, right? You score 50 plus points the next week, you don't even show up.
Nothing. Yep.
Yeah. The Cardinals, I think they're just gonna wrap up this division with a win. The Seahawks are checked out. Russell Wilson is already talking with his agents about where he's gonna be next year. Pete Carroll's most likely having his final conversations with the staff because he's most likely gone too. I think the Seahawks are just ready to make changes. They just look checked out, guys. I know they got that crazy win last week. They scored 50 something points, but this season, knowing that it's against the Cardinals, who have nothing but respect to play for because they want to solidify that division, the Cardinals are going to go ahead and handle them. Yeah, back on track. Yeah, I mean, they got back on track last week with beating us. I mean, look, guys.
I wouldn't consider back on track on that one. I just think that I don't know. It's just a weird situation from both teams.
Dallas is a good win. You beat Dallas. That's a good win.
Yeah, but was it a good win or was it team management? Was it the head coach's fault? Was it the execution? We'll see about it. But hey, we're moving on. Panthers at Buccaneers. Look, the Panthers are looking crazy every week, right? They didn't start Cam Newton. They don't even know which quarterback they're going to be playing this week. But it's really sad what's going on, especially with the injuries that they had to deal with. They're the opposite of the Ravens. The Ravens, they know they stay disciplined. They play hard. The Panthers, on the other hand, you start having people drop. You just lost their whole entire team. They don't even know what a W is anymore.
Yeah.
Give it to the Bucks. The Bucks, they need a tune-up. Tom Brady is going to have a new wide receiver core ready to set up for the playoffs. I trust Brady on this one. Book it.
Book it. Okay. Yeah, I got the Buccaneers, and hopefully they could put this Antonio Brown drama, situation to the backside. Focus here. Tampa Bay has the number one passing offense in the league. But what kind of concerns me is that Carolina has the number two passing defense. So would that disrupt, Brady just a little bit? But I think still Buccaneers will find a way of winning. And especially almost giving it up last week against the Jets. I mean, that was almost a disaster waiting to happen. But I think they bounce back and finish off the season on a strong note, beating Carolina.
Yeah, I'm going to say the Buccaneers win, but not convincingly. I think the Buccaneers squeak a win. And it's going to be one of those wins where you don't feel good about Tampa going into the playoffs because those injuries are going to show. Remember when those injuries started to show for the Ravens? I think these injuries are going to start getting to Tampa Bay and the Buccaneers because all those injuries are to his offensive weapons. All of them. Mike Evans is going to be hobbled from here on out, even if they make a deep run. They don't have any more Godwin. AB is still in New York, probably getting tickets to the next New York game. It's just, it's very unfortunate. The loss of Fournette is huge because Rojo is a solid number 2. But he's not a lead back, I believe. He's really not. So it's going to be a tough task for Tampa to try and make a run. But I feel like he'll have enough this week to get a win against the Panthers, who have just been a letdown.
All right. The Chargers versus the Raiders. This is a probably the most important game that they got to offer in week 18, right? I mean, look, depending on what the Colts do and everybody else, I mean, if things were to fail, you're going to depend on this game. So the Chargers and the Raiders, look, the Chargers should never be in this situation. And it's all because of the head coach. Going for fourth down, going for a 2-point conversion. All those fail, all because you want to go for analytics. It's time doing your gut. It's time to win the game. It's time to do it right, play old school football. The Chargers can make this happen. I'm going to stick with the Chargers. I think they learned their lesson. I'm
They
not
better
really
have.
trusting the Raiders right now, especially that they have one dealing with a DUI over the past week. So Chargers over the Raiders by a field goal, move into the playoffs.
I'm really surprised. I thought you was gonna pick the Raiders since you had them picked, throughout the year and everything like that. So, but
Yeah,
it
but
is.
they put a bad taste in my mouth. Like, look, man, you got the coach got fired. You got a dude that was in jail for vehicle manslaughter. You got guys fighting. I mean, I don't know what's going on. They say whatever happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, but it's exploiting everything, man. The team's getting dysfunction at the wrong time. Yeah, they won last week, barely. I
They
mean,
beat
is
a
this the
good
same
team though.
Raiders that we saw the first month? Absolutely not. I don't trust the Raiders right now.
Yeah,
If they
yeah.
win,
And
congratulations. Maybe I'll pick them, but I don't know, man.
I know you
It's
said it
hard.
leaves a. I know you said it leaves a bad taste in your mouth. It's going to be even a worse taste in your mouth if they do win and pay tribute to John Madden that way. I'm just saying.
Maybe.
But in
Yeah,
this,
that was last week.
I got the Raiders. I got the Chargers winning this game. 4 of the last 5 times they faced each other, it was a one-score game. So I trust Justin Herbert more than I do David Carr in this situation. I think Carr has gotten lucky the last 3 games. COVID has helped him in that situation with the Cleveland-Denver situation, quarterback situation. If COVID never hit that situation, we could be talking about a different situation where the Raiders are not even in the playoff situation. But it is what it is. They play with what they got. I still got the Chargers winning this game and bouncing the Raiders. Bon voyage.
Vaya, pa'l carajo. Good job.
Yeah, no, I got the Chargers as well, man. I think the Chargers are gonna finish strong because I know the Chargers might not make the playoffs, but Justin Herbert, man, I mean, end the season on a good note going into next season because next season we're gonna start looking at you with side eye. This Chargers team should make the playoffs next season. They have all the parts.
So you're saying they're not going to be? You say the Raiders are going to win?
I say the Chargers are gonna win this game,
Okay.
but I don't think they'll make the playoffs.
Nah, they're going to win. They're going to make it. Trust me.
The Colts are gonna win. So if the Colts win,
Well, the Colts
immediately,
win makes it easier for the winner between the Chargers and the Raiders. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
If the Colts lose, now we got a problem.
Mm.
Bengals at the Browns. The problem is Burrow and Mixon will not be playing this week because of COVID-19. And if I was the head coach, I won't put Chase out there because listen, I'm not putting a backup quarterback so I could get my wide receivers in danger. Maybe he placed the ball, at the wrong spot, and then the defender just crushes him, and now he's out for the rest of the playoffs. Injury. No need for injuries. Sit him down. Look, you already got the division. No need. Who cares? You're gonna host one home game only, anyways. So sit everything down. Give the Browns what they want. Let them win. They're gonna be without Mayfield anyway. So so that's another factor. This game really. If you're betting, don't bet this game. Don't just leave it alone. But I'm out of respect, being that the Browns are at home, and if they should rest, I'll pick the Browns to win.
Yeah, it's crazy you said it because I had the Browns winning this game. The Bengals ain't moving anywhere in their seeding, so I like the Cleveland Browns in this game. I mean, even if Baker Mayfield did play, I mean he was undefeated against Joe Burrow head to head. Like I said, Cincinnati already locked everything up, locked up the North. So
right,
just get
ready. The bad part about it is if the Bengals lose, right, and everybody else wins in those divisions, the Bengals might end up playing the Patriots in the first round.
Yeah, but the Bengals really need to focus right now getting ready for the playoffs because they seem to have bad luck in the playoffs. They need to get ready for this.
Did you know who was the quarterback though? They had Carson Palmer. They had what's his name? Who's with the Bears right now?
Red Rifle,
Dalton.
Andy Dalton.
Andy Dalton.
You know what I mean? So Burrow's Burrow, man. I like Burrow.
I think Burrow. Burrow's he's brewing something. I think the Browns though. I don't think they have enough, man. I think they're just gonna sit all their starters. I think even defensively too, Garrett's not gonna play. So I really think the Bengals are still gonna muster up enough to be able to win this game and not lose this game. So I think Cincinnati pulls it out and wins an ugly game. Like you said, don't bet on it. Take the under. Don't take the over. So yeah.
All right. I got the Packers at Lions. Aaron Rodgers say he's playing, and if he's playing, all his stars are playing. I could see maybe the first half, depending on the circumstances. So I pick the Packers to win.
Yeah, for sure. Packers win this game because I think Aaron Rodgers is gonna just put a stamp on his MVP season. He's my vote. He's got my vote. He's had my vote.
I disagree with you there, man. And the only reason why is because Taylor is doing what he's doing best in Indianapolis. And yeah, Aaron Rodgers, he already won
100%,
an
man.
MVP.
100%.
But let's not overshadow other people that are doing good things. So
I'm not gonna say, and I'm not gonna take anything.
Yeah,
away
but
from
you know
Taylor.
what it
He's
is that every
season.
time Aaron Rodgers is on television, and he's on the Pat McAfee show and everything else, it brings attention. Everyone's talking about him. Like the focus is always on him, and everybody else is just a shadow.
Yeah. So you think that because Taylor's
just
not
hogging
getting as much shine?
No.
I mean, hey, McAfee
does he really deserve an MVP over than Tom Brady?
From Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, he does. Aaron Rodgers went to Arizona while they were undefeated with no Adams, no Scantling, no Lazard, no Aaron Jones, and whooped Arizona. Tom Brady couldn't even score a touchdown against the Saints, and he had his guys.
Okay.
Don't try and
on that
Tom
note,
Brady in there.
Okay. Oh, I have
Tom
to
Brady
because
got,
at least to my next question.
Interceptions. He got double digits interceptions, and he doesn't have the number one seed in the NFC.
So you need to tell me without Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay cannot win.
No, look at what they did with Jordan Love. They scored 0 points.
Okay.
I'm telling you.
I just want you to say it live. I just want you to say it live right here. That's why.
Yeah, dude. Listen, bro. When was the last interception you saw Aaron Rodgers throw?
The last thing I saw from Aaron Rodgers, him always losing in the playoffs. That's all that matters right now. Doesn't matter what you do regular season.
We're talking about this season.
It's every season.
This season. No. MVP is a regular season award, Ovi. We're not taking in consideration what he did in the playoffs.
You're right.
This season, he's been.
Look, man. You know who deserves it most? You know who deserves most is the Bears and the Vikings right now.
Jonathan Taylor definitely deserves credit, and he deserves he deserves votes. I'm not saying he should. It shouldn't even be unanimous. He should. Hey, man, if there is anybody that's gonna take it away, it should definitely be given to Jonathan Taylor for what he's done this season. But dude, Aaron Rodgers, man.
Listen, Aaron Rodgers is playing the game right until it's gonna bite him in the ass, and I'm telling you that right now, it's going to bite him. And I
Who's
don't.
Gonna beat him in the NFC?
Who? It doesn't matter. Is he gonna find ways to lose? Is what I'm saying. I'm telling you right now, Rams is the best option to beat the Green Bay Packers.
The Rams are gonna go to Lambeau in that frozen tundra, and dude, the Rams game doesn't travel. They don't travel. They're an air it out offense, and you
can I tell you something?
Tundra.
And where was the NFC Championship last year?
In Green Bay.
Thank you. So yes, they can lose in Green Bay.
Who beat them? Tom Brady with that run game.
But they're in Tampa, though, right? Are they in Tampa?
But were they not?
Is there hot weather down there? They went over to Green Bay and they beat them. Bottom line, but let's save that conversation
for 20 years.
Let's save that conversation for next week when we do talk about the playoffs, right? And move on with the Bears and the Vikings because none of these teams are playing for nothing. But the Bears, they believe if they win, Nagy could stay, but I doubt that he stays. But no one's talking about the Minnesota Vikings because the Vikings, I believe, Zimmerman is on the hot seat as well because there's back-to-back seasons that they're going to be finishing with 7 wins. So on that note, who you got?
They're playing for something, Ovi. They're playing for draft capital.
So they're playing to lose.
Yeah, they're playing to lose. So I got the Bears playing to lose. So the Bears will lose this game to the Vikings, get a better spot.
Well, they know how to lose real good too.
Oh yeah, and they look good when losing too. Even when they win, they still lose because they beat last week. Who they beat up on? The Giants. Whoop-de-doo.
Really? Who's that? A bye week. Got it.
Yeah.
Hector, who you got in this game?
I got Minnesota. They're both teams are disappointing. I trust Minnesota more than Chicago right now. Honestly,
There's a lot.
the Bears, Andy Dalton, Nick Foles, who cares? Kirk Cousins. If Kirk Cousins plays, I trust him better than I do Foles or Dalton. So I like the Vikings.
Colts versus the Jaguars. The Colts, man, they're looking hot. I think they got the right formula. I think this is a sleeper team. They will beat the Jaguars, but going into playoffs, you have Carson Wentz, who, man, he's building up that storyline with his head coach, Frank Reich, because they both come from Philadelphia. Wentz got hurt. Nick Foles took over and led the Super Bowl to beat the Patriots. Now they're in the playoffs. They found that formula. It took a while to get to where they're at. And now that they're there, they're the most dangerous team, in my opinion, in the AFC. So you got to watch out for those Colts because they do have a run game. And as long as Wentz is able to be disciplined enough and not turn over the ball, I think the Colts will be all right here. But in this game, expect the Colts to run over the Jaguars, man.
Yeah. I was surprised that the Colts lost knowing that Jonathan Taylor rushed for over 100 yards last week. That was just kind of that was not the norm for the Colts, but it is what it is. It is what it is. But yeah, I think they're gonna whoop the Jags. Next.
Yeah, man. Ovi, I'm surprised that you ain't hit us with the stat. Like, the Colts haven't beat
it's week 18, and stats really don't count when you have players that might sit out. You might have players like they purposely want to get the job. Like you mentioned, this is the whole key about week 18. You saw last year on the very last game when the Eagles played the Washington football team, the Eagles pulled everybody out. So how would you sit here and say, hey, this is what they're going to do? Well, you know what? They're going to just not play.
Yeah.
Why have a week 18 anyway?
Yeah, I would love to see I would love to see Jonathan Taylor just break the record and run all over the Jaguars. I think the Colts will win this game just to make sure that their place in the playoffs is packed. It's week 18, like you said, Ovi. These teams that are in the playoffs, they either just want to win to solidify or move up a spot, or teams that don't need a win, or they just it's week 18, bro. It's week 18.
You got to protect your best players because playoffs are more important. But then if you're not in the playoffs and if you don't care about your career, then you could just sit and just let time pass by. And that's what sucks about week 18. It really is. Steelers at Ravens. Now, I tell you what, these are the two teams that I know will play their hearts out. And especially the Steelers are playing for possibly the last game for Ben Roethlisberger. The Ravens, no matter how banged up they are, they could put the fifth string and still give you a game. But I was aiming for the Ravens from the very beginning. Like, they're going to just crush their dreams. But my gut tells me, man, that there's going to be a lot of respect in this game. And I just feel that the Steelers might come out on top, maybe by 2 points or 3. And at the very end, win it for Ben to give them at least a chance to go to the playoffs. The Ravens, I think they lost 5 in a row, the last 5 games. And they need help to get into the playoffs. They need the Chargers and the Colts to lose. So I got the Big Ben story up on here, and I'm going for the Steelers.
Yeah, see, the Ravens lost 5 in a row, like you talked about, combined 25 points. Okay, it would have been closer, but they got blown out by Cincinnati. Okay, 3 of those 5 losses came to division foes. Nothing's getting any better for the Ravens right now, and this is just a storybook ending for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I got the Steelers winning this game and just making it much interesting for that Chargers Raiders game to make it much more interesting. So yeah, I got the Steelers winning this game. And if it is his last game, why not finish out on top with the win? Why not?
Yeah, absolutely.
I love this rivalry though.
Look, he started his career going to the Super Bowl, if I'm not mistaken, or was it the AFC Championship? For Bettis. It was the AFC Championship.
That was the Super Bowl. He went to the Super Bowl and Bettis retired. Yeah, that was the Super Bowl.
Right. Because that was the second season of Ben Roethlisberger. Because the first thing he promised Betts that he was going to take him to the promised land. Yeah. He actually did it.
Because he was backing up Maddox, I believe it was, right?
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Maddox got hurt.
They went to the playoffs.
But that second year when Maddox got hurt after the first game, he took over and he went undefeated and went on to the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
that
I
second
believe
year.
so. I think they beat who they beat
They went
Arizona
15-1.
Cardinals.
No.
they
They
beat
beat
this. No, they beat the
the
Seahawks in the Super Bowl. That was with
Seahawks.
Sean
Oh, the
Alexander.
Yeah,
Seahawks.
in
Okay.
Detroit, and because Jerome Bettis was at home in Detroit, that was his hometown. Yeah,
Yeah, there you go.
yeah.
Yeah, I got the
But
Steelers
hey,
winning that game though.
all right, my bad. Yes, so
No,
all
you
three of
good,
us
you
got the
good.
Steelers.
I
All
got
right,
the Steelers win that game. You know, T.J. Watt, go ahead, break that sack record. Join
Yeah,
your brother,
there's more
and
stuff to be added to this game.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
and also maybe and also state your case as the lead runner, front runner for defensive player of the year, because I think as good as Micah Parsons has had a great year, I think T.J. Watt is he's going to win that award.
all right, man. The Titans at the Texans. This is a trap game. Okay,
Damn.
Texans. I don't know where they're
Don't
getting
say
that
that,
little
Obi, man.
W's, but this is the trap game because the Titans want that number 1 seed.
Yeah, they need
But
it too.
I don't think they need it. I mean, I think if they need it, I don't think home field advantage is going to help the Titans in this
It's
one
more
because
so for the rest, though, for Derrick Henry to come back.
yeah, you're right, absolutely right, because Derrick Henry is practicing. He will not play this weekend, but he will be ready for the playoffs. But there's something telling me something might not go well in this game. Now, I'm not going to bet on it, but you got Tannehill. He's been playing good ball, but the last time he played the Texans, he threw 4 interceptions.
Yeah.
That's not good. But that was the last time he played terrible. That run game needs to establish if they're going to beat the Texans. The Texans did win the last meeting. Could the Texans sweep the Titans? That's not good if the Texans sweep
That'd be
the
a
Titans.
tragedy.
Very. But I'm leaning on the Titans. Maybe because, like you said, there's draft picks on this one, right? You say, hey, Merry Christmas. Here, take the number 1 seed. Or maybe like, look, I don't care. Let me crush you. So
it's a battle of the number ones. Titans are fighting for the number 1 seed, and the Texans are fighting for the number 1 draft pick. So the battle for the ones.
Get the Titans in there. Who you got?
Yeah, I mean,
but
both of them should have mutual agreements. Variable should talk to Texans head coach and just give the win, give the loss, and we both move on and be happier men.
Yeah, we'll go to Texas Roadhouse and eat some steak and stuff, you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm ready. Let's do this.
All right, the Saints and the Falcons.
I go for Tennessee also.
You go for Tennessee. All right, fair enough. Who we go? Because there's nothing to root for in this one.
You should have talked about these non-meaningful games first, and then gave us the good ones last.
Nah,
you know
because I mean, real quick, I got the Saints. Who you got?
I got the Falcons because I'm not gonna go ahead and put my faith in Ethan Book again. I'm not doing that.
Was terrible. That was my terrible. I'm gonna admit, man, I was terrible. Like, where you know what? This has got to be the worst 2021 NFL draft that comes out, and when they get the opportunity to start, and they choke it up. Like, there's no one able to step up to the next level. None. And the only person we saw right now
better next season either.
The only person really was Cam Newton. Excuse me. Mac Jones. You know, him starting Cam Newton just get fired from the Patriots, and then look where he ended up.
And I know we don't like to talk about the hypotheticals and the ifta, but it's really with the Mac Jones thing, and I'm not gonna take anything away from the kid, but if Lawrence would have so happened fell to number 16, or Fields would have fell to 16, or even maybe not Zach Wilson, because I think Zach Wilson is not that good. But if Lance, Fields, or Lawrence would have fell in New England's lap, you'd get the same, if not maybe even better results, because I feel like Fields and Lawrence are better talent.
I'm going to correct you there. If Trevor Lawrence went to the Patriots, it'll be the same thing as Mac Jones, equivalent, because they're rookies, because the coaches know what their strengths and weaknesses are. They know how to coach them. They know how to manage. And that's something that they built up that blueprint for everybody to see. Look, this is what you do with your rookie. All the other coaches, and you're right. But to say that it'll be better, look, Mac Jones looked better than anybody when he was in college. He looked better than Trevor Lawrence. He looked better than Justin Fields. As a matter of fact, he beat Justin Fields in the national championship. You know what I mean? And then you're still going to disrespect him because you don't draft him in the front. He probably could have took the 49ers and make them better than what they are because he stays healthy. He's disciplined. He's been coached very well. And, dude, you're going to tell me you're not going to pick someone that's a 4.0 in college who dedicated his time to be the starter, who beat Bryce Young to be the starter for 1 year?
I'm not saying he's trash, Ovi.
No, but I'm just saying like that's something that you want to know about Mac Jones, why he put himself in that situation when everyone's dissing him saying he's not good. He got these flaws. Look, anybody from Ohio State got flaws. Tell me who was the last quarterback from Ohio State that became famous and ran the league. None. Haskins had a chance and look what he did. Okay. So tell me about any other quarterbacks. Look, all these good quarterbacks don't even come from Power 5 conferences. They come with colleges we don't even know and we never heard of. So I'm just telling you how it is, man. Where did Ben Roethlisberger play? Oh yeah, Miami, Ohio.
Yeah, Miami,
that's right.
Ohio, yeah.
Miami, Ohio. Yes, Ohio, Cincinnati. You missed them.
Yeah,
Cleveland. You missed them. They were playing in your backyard. You didn't want to pick them. Yeah. Just saying. But you want to go for the Heisman. Heismans don't win Super Bowls. The last time was Staubach from the Cowboys back in the 70s. That's it. Just telling you how it is.
They can get you there, though.
It ain't going to do you no good just getting there.
Absolutely. But, hey, it's good talk. I appreciate it. When we went over time, we didn't even get to the coaching carousel. But, hey, matter of fact, real quick, I think we got 5 minutes. Let's go real quick. You tell me if they're safe or not safe. All right. So here we go. AFC East, say New York Jets, Robert Saleh, is he safe or not safe?
He's safe.
I think so.
All right. AFC North, Cleveland Browns, Kevin Stefanski.
He's safe for one more year.
I believe he's okay.
The problem with that team is they need an identity. They need a quarterback. That's it. AFC South, the Houston Texans, David Culley, only 1 year. Could he do it?
No, he's out of there.
I say.
All right. You think he's safe?
I think he's safe for one more.
They need a quarterback. So. Remember, they didn't have that Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, I know.
So
they're not going to have him next season either.
No. All right. Jacksonville Jaguars will be having a new head coach. The problem is we don't know who, but is it Byron Leftwich or Doug Peterson?
I'm going to go Byron Leftwich because he has that, that history with the Jags.
I prefer Byron there. I
okay.
Yeah.
Tune in to hswshow.com. There's an article about who should be the next coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars. And definitely I did pick Byron Leftwich on that one. Let's go to AFC West, the Denver Broncos, Vic Fangio, 3 years in there, 19-29 overall record. Should he stay or go?
Yeah, I think he should go.
Get him out.
Yeah. All right, the Raiders. They got Bisaccia, right? That's his name. He's the interim head coach.
Bisaccia. Paisan. He's a Paisan.
He's playing, prego. Thank you very much. Get the hell out of here.
Hey, if he takes him to the playoffs, they may make him some kind of Gucci bag or something. But
bro, he takes him to the playoffs.
Dude, if he goes to the playoffs and win a playoff game, he's going to stay.
Yeah.
Yes. All right, NFC East, New York Giants, Joe Judge, stay or go?
He needs to go.
I would love for him to go, but he's going to stay eventually. Unfortunately, he's staying.
He needs to go, though.
Yeah,
dude,
he definitely needs to go.
They have only scored 23 touchdowns this season.
Endorsed him. The owners endorsed him.
He can always change his mind, buddy. Trust me.
Yeah,
owners could change their mind. When
100%.
the stockholders say, yo, I'm pulling my money somewhere else. Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah, I think Joe Judge may have some blackmail photos that we don't know about.
NFC North, the Minnesota Vikings, Mike Zimmer, in or out?
Get him out of here. Man. He's been there for a while. It's time to get him out.
8 years. This is the first time he went back-to-back season under 500. Chicago Bears, Matt Nagy.
Yeah, that dude's been fired since week 5.
He's been fired since the season started because the home media has been talking trash on him.
Yeah, man.
The Lions, Dan Campbell.
No, he stays.
He needs to stay.
He stays.
That Lion team, they got some heart.
They love him. They love some MCDC, man.
Love him is one thing, winning is another. But yeah, I think he stays. He's 13-1 right now. All right. NFC South, the Atlanta Falcons, Arthur Smith, 1 year. already. 7-9 season already.
I think he
Is
stays.
it
I
him
think
or
he
is the
stays.
quarterback?
I think he stays. I think it's the quarterback. He definitely stays because he needs to be seen with a fresh quarterback. Mac Ryan is on the back end of his career.
You know he got Felipe Franks in there, so I would love to see Felipe Franks play one full game, and I think this is it. I think Matt Ryan should just observe, see what these guys have, give these guys a chance, man. I'm
Yeah.
surprised that hasn't been done yet.
Matt
Mm-hmm.
The
Ryan's not that
Carolina
dude, bro.
Panthers, Matt Rule, 2 years in, both times he's finished with 5 wins.
I think he stays for one more.
He needs to go. Him and his whole trust the system is not working with Carolina.
When you put Cam Newton in there, you can't trust no system.
No.
Plus, he brought in Sam Darnold. What do you expect?
The Saints, Sean Payton, 15 years with the organization. He has 151 wins, 89 losses. He is second behind Belichick with being in one team, with Belichick being 22 years with the Patriots. Should he move on and maybe take the job of the New York Giants?
Nah, he stays. He stays
All right.
in New Orleans, man. He still managed to beat Tampa twice this season. So,
Yeah, I think
he's good.
yeah, let him stay there. I think he's established himself as a Saint, so
He's-
he's won a Super Bowl there.
They're
as a head
making a
coach.
whole
One.
movie out of him with Kevin James being the coach of the Saints, playing Sean Payton. So yeah, he's there to stay.
Fair enough. All right, last one. The Seahawks, Pete Carroll, stay or go?
He goes. He goes if Wilson goes.
Yeah, I think he stays.
He's been 12 years with the organization. He has 118 wins, 73 losses, 1 tie. First time since 2011 that the team will finish under 500. And the reason why, because that following year, he drafted Russell Wilson. And you know the rest. I mean, he had one hell of a career with the Seattle Seahawks. And that wraps up with Who Stays, Who Goes, brought to you by the CMG Sports Podcast Network.
Forgot
Thank
Mike
you for
McCarthy.
listening in to the All Four Downs podcast. Once again, every Wednesday, tune in. No more Thursdays. Every Wednesdays, NFL. I mean, look, we got Monday the national championship on Monday, and then we kick off with the playoffs. So next week,
Yes,
stay
sir.
tuned. We're going to come up with our brackets, and also follow HHW Show podcast every Tuesday night, as they are back and they're getting ready for the Fantasy Royal Rumble. So you
Yes.
don't want to miss that.
Yeah, stay tuned for next week because I got an interesting fact and some questions that I want answered for the playoffs.
What?
All right.
Yes.
Damn. All right, man.
You want to
That's
tune
it.
in.
Tune in.